I mean, the process is not an easy one. It's very difficult. I would like to say that because it will help you to know what to expect.
Yeah.
The minimum language requirement that is needed is just C1.
If you've not subscribed to this channel and you're watching,
Do that.
do Princess, nice to have you.
Thank you.
Yeah, really, I want to say that I've been looking forward to having this interview for a long time because it always puzzled me about how someone can do a bachelor's or have a medicine degree. So, hi everyone, thank you for joining us in this live session. And here today I have Princess. She's a medical student here in Germany, and she'll be telling us about her journey and how you can also study medicine in Germany. That's just I'm interested in. So, can you introduce yourself a little to us?
I think you already done that, but then let me just give a recap. Yeah, my name is Princess, and I currently study medicine here in Germany, and I think that's the overview of who I am.
So, can you tell us how it happened? How was it like? What's the process of getting into studying medicine here?
I mean, the process is not an easy one. It's very difficult. I would like to say that because it will help you to know what to expect.
Yeah.
So the first and foremost, you have to learn the language. I mean, there is no corner way in this aspect. You have to learn the German language if you want to study in a German university. Although I think there are two medical universities, private medical university, where you can study in English, but private now. Per year you may be paying 10,000 euros and all that. So let's remove the private universities from the picture right now and focus on the public universities, because we have like 34 medical schools, and I think 4 of them or 3 of them are private and the rest are public. So in order to get into a public medical university, you have to start with learning German. And the minimum language requirement that is needed is just C1.
Wow, that's high.
Yeah, that's high. And some universities require C2. But then some others, they require it if you want to gain some bonus points.
Okay.
So, but then just try to get your C1 and you are set to go. That's number one. And number two is that if you haven't, this is your first bachelor degree, or your first degree, you just finished graduating from high school, you don't have any other certificate than your, high school certificate. That means you have to do what we call Studienkolleg. I did that as well because I just finished immediately after secondary school. That was when I started processing the whole stops. So I had to do Studienkolleg, and Studienkolleg is meant for all international students that are coming from outside of the EU country. So if you schooled in an EU country, then you could also get in without Studienkolleg. But then if you are a student from outside the EU, that means you have to do the Studienkolleg. If you come from US, UK, I mean, same process. You have to do Studienkolleg. So that's one thing. I learned German to B2, and then I started my Studienkolleg. And to get into Studienkolleg, that's also another story altogether. You have to write entrance examination. Of course, there are some universities, I think 2, that don't write entrance examination, especially for M course, because we have different courses. In Studienkolleg, we have different courses. We have M course, T course, G course, S course. M course is for anyone that wants to do any medical related courses afterwards. T course is anyone that wants to do any technical courses afterwards. G course is anyone that wants to do any kind of anything related to law. Yeah, and then S course, music and all that. These are just the 4 most important courses that people that they do offer in Studienkolleg. Some universities offer all courses, some don't offer all. Some offer like only M or only T or only G course, S course.
What is the equivalent of the students? So, like, I want to understand this, especially for someone coming from Nigeria. The person just finished his YA. This person also still has to do the Studienkolleg.
Yeah.
Okay. And Studienkolleg means that you are doing, is it like an A level?
Yeah, it's just like an A level, so that it will match the German high school equivalent. Because the Germans, once they graduate from their high school, they are, of course, they're eligible to attend the university. But then I don't know if they think, but then theoretically speaking, high school certificate, if you come from outside of the EU, your high school certificate is not equivalent
Okay.
to the German high school certificate. So they want you to do that extra 1 year so that you have, so it will be like, yeah, so everyone will be on the same level. That's what I think.
Okay, so then colleague, what courses do you do, for example, in the M course?
M course we do, in German it's called Naturwissenschaftliche Fächer, like science related subject. You do biology, you do chemistry, you do physics, you do mathematics, and then you also do German, like intensive German as well.
Okay, so this means, like you mentioned, you have to have a B2 before you do the 3. So it means when you are doing the student colleague, you are doing a C1 student.
Yeah, when you graduate, if you pass your exam, you get your C1 certificate.
Okay, nice. And this is just for 1 year.
Just for 1 year. I mean, it does not also last for up to 1 year because of holidays and everything involved. Like, for example, I started in October and I finished in July, or let me say, I graduated in July the next year. So it's not even up to a year.
And what points you can get to be able to apply?
This is a very important question. Because there's no straight answer to that. But then the better your score, the higher chances you have to get in. I mean, ideally, you need 1.0, which is the highest score. You need 1.0 to get in. 1.0 in your certificate to get in. Some universities, that 1.0 is enough. Some universities will require you to get extra because now, apart from 1.0 that's the highest you can get on your certificate. But while applying, 1.0 is not the highest score. We have like 0 point something.
Wait, what do you mean 0 point something? I thought the higher number is the better grade.
Yeah, like now on your certificate, 1.0 is the highest score. Like you cannot go beyond that. But then while applying, that's a different ballgame altogether because some university requires some other things from you. For example, I talked about, if you have your C2, some university will give you bonus points. Now, some university, if they give you that bonus point, 1.0 minus, maybe you get, for me personally, I got over 90% in my C2. So that was why they gave me a bonus point of 1.0 extra. So now what they do is that they will get your score and minus it from the bonus points that you have. Let's say, for example, that someone has 1.0 in his or her certificate and you now got a bonus point for 1.0. So now your score is now 0.0. Let me put it this way.
Why would we minus and not add? So in the German system, what is the lowest?
Lowest is 4. Lowest is pass, and then you fail with 6. Like 1 is the highest score you can ever get. It's the best score, like kind of smart student score. 2 is also good. 3 is you pass.
Then, but why are they okay? So if they now subtract that 1, you now get 0. That means you have the best score.
Let me not say the best because there's also minus 0 point something. I mean, all this things depends on doing the application.
Okay, so like now I'm thinking in terms of mathematics. That means the lower the number, the better
you
are.
are. The lower the number, the better you are actually. The lower number.
If you have a -3, it's actually very good.
It's very good. Like you have higher chances. But then on your certificate, what you will get is the 1.0 is the highest. But during application, there are other things you can do to gain bonus points.
Like what?
Like this, you having your C2. Like for example, my university they need C1 if you want to get in. But then if you have C2 and also have above 90% in your C2, you get a bonus point of 1.0. And that was what I got. That really helped me. And then if you do BFD or FSY, you also get a bonus point of 1.0. If you, no, not 1.0, 0.2. Because 1.0 is already too much. And then there's this exam called Test As. It's also an exam that you can write to improve your chances. You have the possibility of getting 1.0 bonus points from your Test As. So I mean I already made a video about that on my channel, so you could go watch it. And these are the main things that could help you. And then if you have studied before, maybe because you didn't get into med school, you decided to start with another course and you've studied 2 semesters, you get 0.2 bonus points. So you'll be gathering bonus points from different universities, from different places. And not all universities do this bonus points something. Some people goes only just with your high school certificate. If you go 1.0, you go in. There's this medical school in Berlin called Charité. If you don't have 1.0, forget about it because they don't do bonus points. They just want to collect people that have 1.0 and they are done. If you have your C1 and your 1.0 or lowest 1.1, you may be accepted.
If, for example, someone is coming from Nigeria, the person already has a bachelor's degree in civil biology. Is the person still required to do the student
No.
college?
If you have done, let's say, 2 semesters in a university,
Yeah.
then you don't need Studienkolleg.
Then how did they then evaluate you?
You have to get your high school grade, because even now, even with the Studienkolleg, I still apply with my high school grade. You have to get your high school grade and your bachelor degrees, transcript and everything, and they do 50-50. Like they grade it 50-50, and then you have to have your language certificate. And if your bachelor and your high school are not that really good, then you may want to do other things like getting C2 and doing test R's, doing FSC or BFD, just gathering bonus points here and there. Mm-hmm.
So what university are you currently studying in?
I'm studying in the University of Tübingen.
Besides the football university?
In med school, no, not to look into the medical school. Anyway, they give you admission, you wrong. Like, actually, honestly, when I was doing my first application, I didn't have any preference. I was like, anywhere it goes. So far I get an admission. Because that's the main struggle. But then I can remember my friend asking me which university do I want to go to. I was like, I don't really have a preference, because she was already studying pharmacy here. So I was like, I don't really have a preference. And but then seeing that you are studying in this university, maybe let's take that as my preference. I would also like to come here. And that's why there's power in spoken tongues. I didn't, and that was how during my second application that I got here, I got admission into this university.
This means you can apply to many universities at the same time.
If it's possible to go to the 31 university, do it, because to increase the chances.
So what's the application package? Aside from these documents you've written, do you have to write like a personal statement and give yourself why you decided to study medicine?
Yeah, some universities, not all, require a motivation letter that you have to write. And during my application, I can remember writing some motivation letter, why I want to study medicine, why this university. So imagine, writing motivation letters for different universities, be telling them why this university and all that. And it's weird, because if you have a preference, you should only write a motivation letter for that university that you want to do.
I don't think so.
Okay.
There are different reasons why you can go to different universities.
Okay.
It's not like just one.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So some universities require motivation letter, some don't. And I heard that someone actually was preferred than other people because of her motivation letter. Because people ignore that motivation letter, because they feel like, how would they read the motivation letters of 1,000 applicants, of 400 applicants, 500 applicants? Let me just do it anyhow. They will not check it. But then my friend of mine was just telling me a story of a lady that really took time to write her motivation letter, and they actually read it and they picked her.
Nice.
So don't take it. Me, I took it for granted. I'm among those people that said I don't know it. I was among those people that said they will not read it. Let me just do it anyhow. And I didn't mind anyhow, and I got anyhow rejection. So you could just try to calm down, start your application earlier, so that you will not be under pressure, and you write a very good motivation letter.
So it means that they are actually circles. So usually in the summer semester, like when can you apply, or is it all year round?
Not really. And we have summer semester and winter semester. So all medical schools, or all universities, are open winter semester.
Okay.
But then only few medical schools are open for summer semester. I think 7 out of the 31 or thereabout. So just 7 or 11 at most, I can't remember clearly, that are open for summer semester. But then both of them have advantage and disadvantage. Winter semester, everyone, we have a lot of fresh graduates from the high school, and they all want to get into school. So you're competing with people that, that have also good grades just like you do. And that's why it's quite competitive in winter semester, because all universities are open. And then in summer semester, we have less fresh graduates. So people that normally apply for summer semester are those that couldn't get in winter semester. Although sometimes people will graduate and start to just take 6 months off, and they will apply for the next time and all that. So you have higher chances of getting in summer semester than in winter semester, especially if your grade is not that perfect.
Okay. But now, if someone wants to apply from Nigeria, the person, do you do an interview or you just send in your documents? So the person from Nigeria just goes through the list of schools and then just sends in their documents.
Yeah, you have to apply, especially if you don't need Studienkolleg. If you need Studienkolleg, that's a different ball game. But assuming you have everything, just make your application. You don't even need any entrance examination. Make your application. If you get admission, apply. In fact, before you make the applications, already book appointments at the embassy. And then when you get your admission, start disturbing the embassy so that they'll give you visa, so you could come early as possible.
And you have to pay application fees to the universities you're applying to.
It depends. Okay. Some universities, if you're applying directly to them, they will not, collect any fee from you, and they don't ask you to pay any fee. Yeah. Some of them, they will tell you to apply directly to them, but then you have to pay fees. Some of each just €100, €70 per university. That's very expensive. And then most of the universities, they will tell you to apply through Uni Assist. Okay. And Uni Assist, your first application is €70. Subsequent application, I think, €30 or €35. And if you're planning to apply to all 30 medical schools, you just have to, be wise. But of course, like I said, among the 30, 10, 15 of them, you could apply directly, you could pay or you not pay, like depending. Some universities it's just different.
Yeah. Now you have to really think, because you can 30 times 10 is 300 euros.
I'm telling you, that's what I did during my application.
Wow.
I paid a huge amount of money. Yeah. I paid a huge amount. What saved me was that some university that I applied to also, you have to apply directly, and I didn't have to pay any fee. But then I can remember that I spent nothing less than €300 in my first application. Yeah. Nothing less than €300. I applied to a lot of universities.
And this also means for your application documents do not change. So yeah, so Uni Assist just has all your documents, and then depending on what each of the universities need, they will send the required documents to them. Okay. Okay, nice. How long did the whole application how long did the whole application process take?
There's no specific time frame, but then the earlier the better, in case any document is missing, so that you could get it. But then you have till 15th of July issue to apply for winter semester, and you have to 15th of January to apply for summer semester. So if you want to start from September for the application of January 15th, that's fine.
So you are currently in your second year, fourth or third semester. How has it been like so far?
It's okay. I mean, there have been some ups and downs, I would not lie. But then generally speaking, me, I love challenges though. So it's okay. I mean, yeah, of course there were tough times. I mean, you cry, shao. So there are tough times where you feel like giving up, crying and all that, but after crying you clean your tears and pick up and continue from where you stopped. Yeah, so that's it.
But in terms of this, how do so people coming from Nigeria, so first of all, for them to be able to even get a visa, they have to show proof of sustenance, right? So when they get in, like, what's the fees we need to pay per semester?
Generally speaking, or okay, I don't want to give false information, but I will say this: almost all universities in Germany don't pay school fees, except for the states that we are in. But in Wittenberg, you have to pay school fees, and that means all universities in Baden-Württemberg, the international students have to pay school fees, and it's 1,500 per semester. But 1,500 is actually relatively affordable compared to other universities in other countries. Apart from the universities that are in Baden-Württemberg, other universities in other parts of Germany, you pay nothing. Like, you don't pay any school fees. You just pay semester contribution, which is called semester Beitrag auf Deutsch. And that's it basically. But then if you are in Baden-Württemberg, or if you're planning to come to Baden-Württemberg, just rest assured that you are most likely going to pay, a semester Gebühr, like kind of school fees. And then there are some exemptions. Like some people get exempted. So that's just personal this in case you always have to write an email ask to get more information.
So, but I mean, if someone, let's assume, because I know that if you are coming from outside EU or maybe even within the EU, you have to show proof of sustenance, which is like 11,000 for 1 year. And for each month, they will give you the amount of money you need. So let's say the person finished their 1 year. In the second year, like how does the person pay? Are you allowed to have a job? How do you sustain yourself?
I mean, it depends also on the individual. If your parents are able to, finance you and all that, then every year they'll send you 11,000 euros and put it in your account, and that's fine. You live a soft girl's life. But then, if you're like me, of course, my parents do support me, my siblings, my brother, and all. But then, that's a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
So what you should do when you come here with that your block account, if you come, don't just relax and be waiting for when it finishes, except your parents would give you another one. But if your parents would not give you another one, just try to look for a mini job. That's the first option. Look for a mini job that will sustain you. Right now I'm working. I do night shift at the hospital as a nurse assistant. And I would say this, try to look for a job that will not take much of your time, because you're a medical student and it's stressful, it's draining, trust me. Try to look for a job that is not time consuming, and even though it's time consuming, let it be something that is related to your course, so that you're gaining experience. You are, imagine doing, studying medicine, and then you're working at a place that has technical background, except you studied that before. But then if not, just try to do something related to your studies. And then another option is scholarship. I mean, I know the scholarship stories is quite complicated, and if we talking about it in this video, it's a whole long procedure and all that. So, and that option is also scholarship. I know of people that already have scholarships, and so if you can't work because you don't have the time, which is understandable, you could as well, apply for scholarships.
So can you tell me in terms of the real cost? So let's assume this person is in a university that you only pay, what's it called now, the semester contribution. So let's say the person pays 300 euros per month. So can you say what are the expenses that the person would incur outside of tuition?
Okay.
Like how much is the rent? And maybe do you need to buy books? Like what do you need money for?
Okay, that's a very good question. Actually, it all depends on the individual again. If you want a soft girl's life, an apartment and all that, then you have to pay much. But then we also have the student hostel. It's quite competitive to also get in. So if you're lucky to get into the student hostel, that's quite cheaper. You have to pay like 260 something euro to 300 and something euro. Like it depends on where, because even in student hostel you have the possibility of getting an apartment. So they higher the place you're living, they higher the score. No, they higher the costs in him. So that's it. So if you want to, like, just bear in mind that your accommodation per month will be 300 euros, for example. Again, feeding, in average, students spend 50 to 300 euros for feeding, averagely. So that's 600 euro gone. And then insurance, I pay 150 something euro for my insurance. So also have that in mind that you have to also pay insurance. So that one, let's say 150 euros, that's already 750 euro. What else? Transportation. You can, because some universities the transportation is already included in the semester contribution. Some universities not. In my university not, and I have to pay extra for the transportation. What else? Textbooks. I don't know. Some people love buying textbooks. Me, I don't. I have textbooks as PDF, and I have my tablet, and that's okay for me. If at all I want any textbook, I'll go to the library and I'll get the one for me.
And so, studying medicine takes how long?
This is a question that most students don't like answering. But then, generally speaking, it lasts 6 years, 6 months, like 13 semesters. In some universities, it's 12 semester. But then, most universities now are 13 semester, and most students most likely take 1 semester off to do their doctor thesis, or just to maybe just need time for yourself. So let's say approximately 7 years.
Okay. So for the first 2 years, like tell me what's the process like? What happens? Is there like residency? Is it included in this? Do you have to do like the clinicals? I mean, I don't know anything
I
about
get it. I
medicine.
get it.
Maybe walk us through what it involves.
There are two types of medical school here in Germany. We have Model Studiengang and Regel Studiengang. In Model Studiengang, like from your first year, you're already having some clinical experiences, like having contact with patients and all that. That you do that from first to your last semester. And then, but then in Regel Studiengang, first 2 years of your medical school is just you doing naturwissenschaftliche Fächer, like you doing science subjects, like physics, chemistry, biology. You do that on a semester. Anatomy, histo, physiology, neurophysiology, vegetative physiology, and what else? Biochem and all that. After which you write your physicum, and after your physicum, you write you enter your. I mean, that first 2 years is called preclinic. And then after your physicum, you enter your clinical years, and that's when you start having contact with patients. Although now in my, in the preclinic, I already had contact with patients, in the sense there's this course called communication course, where you have contact with patients, like real patients. I had my own at the hospital as well. So you have a little bit clinical experiences, but then your main clinical experience starts from your clinical years. So
But you also mentioned that you do night shift sometimes. Which experience are you using that they're allowing you to do night shift?
okay. Actually, I didn't study nursing before. I didn't study nursing before that. But then I did, I don't know if I said it in this video, I did BFD, just like FSU as well. BFD or FSU is a kind of voluntary year.
Okay.
You choose where you want to do it. So after my Studienkolleg, I had like 6 months in between, so I had to do my BFD, and I didn't. BFD is normally 1 year, but then because I got admission, I had to just break off. So I already have. I worked at the hospital. I worked at the station, as well as the operating room. So I gathered clinical experiences there, because during my interview, the most thing they asked me, the one question they asked me is if I already have a clinical experience, and I told them I already did my BFD, and they were like, okay, that's enough for you to get this position as a nurse assistant. And of course, because I didn't study nursing, there are some things I'm not allowed to do alone. But then, because I'm a medical student, there are some things I'm allowed to do that some nurses are not allowed to do. Yeah, like taking blood samples and doing all some other small things that you're allowed to do as a medical student. So I mean, yeah, I gained a lot of experience, or I'm gaining a lot of experience from that right now. Um, but then, despite that, there are some things I'm not allowed to do.
Okay, yeah, of course. You're still learning. Okay, so it means first 2 years clinicals, then the remaining years is sorry, first 2 years preclinicals, then the remaining is your clinicals.
Yeah, this is not for all universities. Like I said, there are two. Regular gang is just like you explained. Model gang is just sort of flow, just copy going. But then in their first 2 years, they also do only mainly the science subjects. Then from the third year, just like our own too, you start your clinical subjects and all that.
So after you're done, you mentioned that some people may want to do doctoral their thesis. What does it mean? Because I also know that after you graduate, you might not be called a doctor. Please
Only in
prepare them.
Germany. Only in Germany. No, don't mind them. I mean, if you go outside of Germany, you'll be recognized as a doctor, because no, the reason why you'll not be called as a doctor here in Germany is because doctor means something different here in Germany. Doctor here in Germany does not mean a medical doctor. Like in Nigeria, now, if you tell somebody I'm a doctor, the person will be thinking, you're working at the hospital, you're this, you're that. But that's not the same thing here in Germany. Doctor means that you have done your doctor thesis, your doctor arbeit, like your doctor work. Just like if you go just be a PhD now, you'll be called a doctor. So if you go you'll be called a doctor. So same thing applies. If we do that doctor thesis, then you'll be called a doctor. Otherwise, in Germany, doctor means like medical doctor means arts, Essen. So just like back home where we used to say, I want to go and see the doctor. People here in Germany say, I want to go and see the arts. Like, ich will ein Arzt sehen, like something like that. And when you graduate, you're an art.
Okay. Yeah.
So back home, you're also a doctor, like you're an art. But then getting that doctor title in your name, you have to do your doctor thesis because doctor is meant for anybody that did, this doctor research and all that.
So does it mean that after your 12 semesters, you just graduate that or you don't submit any thesis? Because I think you have to write a thesis.
I mean, from your third year, you're allowed to write your thesis. Some people finish it even before they graduate, and which is the best advice.
Yeah.
People will tell you finish it before you graduate because if you graduate, it's gonna be more difficult.
Well, why wouldn't you want to write a thesis? Because a thesis is like a document that says the things you've done during your bachelor's. Why wouldn't you want to?
No, that's something different though. Like this is in Germany. It's called in German. It's called Doktorarbeit. Like this thesis, you will do it. I mean, yeah, klar, you will do it at the end. I think it's compulsory.
Yeah.
But then we're getting this doctor. Maybe I made a mistake initially, but then it's called Doktorarbeit, where you have to do some researches. Maybe lab in the lab or thereabouts, and because it's time intensive, so students tend to take one semester off to focus on their PhD. And I know you don't want me to call it PhD, but then something like PhD and
a PhD is a doctor, is a research, right?
Yeah.
High level research. So it actually gets okay. Interesting.
I know you don't want to call it PhD. Some PhD students don't like comparing the doctor thesis that we did. Like, don't like comparing the medical one because they'll be like, oh, we spent 4 years doing it, and you guys spent less than 1 year doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you accumulate the years that you study, so a typical bachelor's degree here in Germany is 3 years, then you do a master's for 2 years. That's I understand.
Okay.
We spend longer time in terms of years.
Yeah.
It takes you from your bachelor's to getting a doctoral degree. It takes at least 10 years, and you people get it in 6 years.
Yeah.
I understand it. Yeah. But so after you are done with these 6 years, you need to go for residency.
Yes, if you want to. And mostly you have to, because if not, why did you study medicine? Yeah, mostly you have to. You have to do your residency afterwards.
And because I remember, I think in Nigeria for some universities, when you are in your 400 level, you can already go to the hospitals and you are being paid. And also when you are doing your residency, you are being paid. But in Germany, at what point can you be officially given a job and not doing a mini job?
After your 5th year,
Okay.
or during your 6th year, there's what we call period, practices year. It's a time where you work at like you do your clinical rotations and all that. You get paid, but the paid is less than mini job pay. Although you're working full time. The mini job now is 603 euros.
Yeah.
But last time I checked, if you're doing period, to get 400 euro per month. So that's basically nothing. I mean, yeah, let me not even go deeper because we haven't had some kind of a riot and against it and all, because if you're working like an elephant, and you're working like an elephant and then you're eating like an ant, something like that. So that's it. But then the main aim is just for you to gain your clinical experience, and once you're done, that's your vital building, like your residency, you get paid like very well. It's quite relatively easy compared to other courses, like relatively easy. I don't know. There's no country that I've heard that said, "Oh, we don't need doctors." So even if you don't want to study here, if you don't want to work here in Germany, want to work somewhere else, I think it would be quite easy because of course medical doctors are always wanted. Although maybe if you want to go to other countries, it may be a little more difficult. But if you want to stay in the country where you studied, like Germany, that's way easier.
But so what would be your daily life like?
You see how we shifted this in this webinar? We should have done this webinar since, but we shifted it up to now. It's really time consuming. It's really time consuming. Like right now, I know that there are a lot of deadlines. There are something that I have to do. That if I don't finish it by tomorrow, it's gonna be a whole lot of work for me next week. And basically, I leave my lecture starts around 8 a.m. and I have to wake up earlier before then, maybe because I want to go for some exercise or because I just want to take my time to prepare. But then I leave my house before 8 so that I can catch the bus and get to my lecture hall by 8. This is now because in my first semester my lecture started by 7:30 and later it was shifted to 7:45. So it just depends on the semester and yeah. So that's it basically. I leave very early and come out very late because I love studying at the library. So I may stay outside to like 9:10 and then I start coming back home. And even after spending hours at the library to be as if you didn't even achieve much. So it's really quite busy. And I'm someone that love doing things that is also apart from, studies. I'm working part time at the hospital. I also have a business I'm growing. I have a non-profit organization. So all these things are just combining, taking my time up. And sometimes even when you're just focusing on your studies as well, you don't even have the time to, a kind of read everything that you want to read, study everything that you want to study. And trust me, you would always have mental breakdown once in a while. Like it's like a must. For me personally, yeah, almost every semester I had mental breakdown. I just had my mental breakdown last month. I just had a lot to do, and it was just a whole lot that I just have to leave everything and just sleep and rest. I didn't do anything again, which is also part of this journey. I don't want to say it's normal, but then it's just part of the process, and you will enjoy it. You will enjoy it if studying medicine is your passion. Not my mom said I should. Yeah, yeah. Mm.
But so how would you? What do you think are the challenges that people sorry, are the mistakes people make once when applying
Mm.
that makes them not to get admitted and
Mm.
also while studying? Because I also feel like maybe some people drop out
Yeah, they do.
in the way. So what do you think? How can someone avoid?
Mm. During your application, like I said earlier, don't just apply to few universities, except you're not ready to get into med school yet. Please apply to as many universities as you can. I know that it's expensive, but then you see those universities that don't need a fee for you to apply. Apply to all of them, even when you like the university or not. And also, if you have the money, apply to all universities. That's one mistake. The mistake people make is that you don't have 1.0 and you're applying to Charité that set only 1.0 and max 1.1. You're applying to those you top university with your grade that you have without any other additional something to back you up. That's a mistake that people make. Like you see someone, the person I've applied 4 times within 2 years. Why? I'm applying to that university because you apply to that university without any other additional something. That's a very big mistake. And then why people drop out is that people drop out. Number one is because most people think that to get into med school you just have to be smart, which is not. Yeah, you have to be smart, of course, but that's not. If that's the only thing like you have, the only strength that you have, you may likely drop out.
Okay.
You have to be smart. Number one, you have to be able to, accept challenges. You have to be able to, work under pressure, like study under pressure, withstand pressure as much as you can. I'm not saying that you should be a superwoman or superman, but then as much as you can, you have to be able to withstand pressure, and you have to be someone that's consistent and persistent while learning. Because you learn today, tomorrow you look at that thing that you learned, you've forgotten it and all that. So it can be frustrating. That is why I tell people don't just rush into med school because you feel like, oh, med school, if you're studying medicine, people see you as someone that is smart and all that. Honestly, my mindset have changed. If I see someone studying medicine, I don't just say it because the person is smart. I mean, med school will test your smartness. Trust me. Sometimes you feel like you're not even smart at all. Like you are very dumb. Like sometimes you feel that way. But then what keeps you going is why you started med school in the first place. What is your drive, your push? What is pushing you? Are you doing it because you want to earn big money afterwards? Then you are in the wrong place. There are different businesses you could do to be a billionaire and everything. If you just want to be a doctor only working at the hospital without your own hospital, trust me, you will not be a billionaire. And if that's your mindset, you may want to change that. Again, if your reason of starting med school is because my parents said, you may likely also drop out. Like you don't have any personal drive, you may likely drop out. Number three is if you don't love, some people are just multi-talented, that they like arts subject, they like science and science subject, but you should not just like science subject, you should love it. So if you don't love science subjects, you may have to rethink. Some people don't like blood, but then they're doing medicine. It's difficult because of, although you can maybe work like doing your residency, you can choose a specialty that has nothing little or nothing to do with blood. But then doing your clinical rotations and everything, you will still have contact with blood. So if you're always nauseated each time you see blood, then it will be difficult.
Thanks for that.
Mhm.
Interesting. So, like you've mentioned that it's a difficult thing to do, but what are the alternative pathways? Like, if I don't want to study medicine because maybe, or if I can't study medicine because my grades are not too high, what are the other things I can consider doing around medicine?
Nursing is the close. Oh no, physician assistant,
Okay.
because nursing is different from medicine. I don't. I feel like nurses are stronger than medical doctors in terms of workload. Like these people do a lot of work, so I don't buy the idea of switching to nursing because you couldn't get into medicine. That would be the third option. But the second option apart from medicine is physician assistant. I actually got admission into physician assistant, but then I dropped it because I got into medicine. And physician assistant, just like the name applies, you're assisting the doctors.
Okay.
Because the doctor's workload is already too much and they need people that will help them. So physician assistant is another thing that you could do apart from medicine. Although some people advise you, if you have passion for medicine and you eventually did not do medicine, go and look for something entirely different from medicine. Why? Because each time you're at the hospital seeing your mates doing what you wanted to do,
Yeah,
you feel somehow, well, in fact, you feel unfulfilled, and it may lead to depression and all that. But then if you don't mind, then my biggest goal is do physician assistant. And then if physician assistant you don't like it because, yeah, for whatsoever reason, you may choose nursing.
What about
Yeah, I was even coming closer because the reason why I said nursing is because these ones, they have closer this thing contact with with patients and all that. Then another one is that you could do pharmacy, because these were also my kind of what I had on my list. Then I had medicine, pharmacy, physician assistant, and nursing. These were the first four things I had in mind. So yeah, apart from medicine, physician assistant, nursing, pharmacy, yeah.
What do you know about like a physiotherapist? Do they have to do medicine, general medicine, and their residency, or it's a different course on its own?
Physiotherapy is mainly a different course on its own.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's a lot. We are coming to the end.
Yeah.
So what is the biggest misconception international students have about studying medicine in Germany?
Biggest misconception. Yeah, that's most people think, oh, because German is not it's not your mother language, that it will be impossible for you to, a kind of understand the lectures, understand the lecturers, and understand the fellow students. That's true,
Okay.
but not impossible. Yeah, it's difficult, but not impossible. In your first year, in your first semester, it's gonna be quite challenging for some people. For most people, they are really talented in language and everything, so it's not really a problem. But then most people, me, I don't even like languages, so if you're like me, it's gonna be very tough at first. You would do extra work, because you might be finding it difficult to understand what the lecturer is saying. You may attend a 2 hours lecture, 1 hour lecture, and come back with nothing because you didn't understand what they were saying. And you may even find it difficult to talk to your fellow students who are Germans, because, of course, German is their mother tongue. They speak faster. They have their own way of communicating. Just like if I'm communicating with you now, I can use maybe broken English to communicate with you. And I mean, among the German students as well, they also have this way, a style of speaking that may be difficult for you to grab at first. But then as time goes on, the more you try to interact with them, mingle with them and talk with them, it would be less, stressful. Mm-hmm.
What advice would you give to someone outside Germany who thinks of becoming a doctor here? Where do they start from?
Okay, it depends on the person. If you're already a medical doctor in your country, that's a different ball game. Like that's a different video altogether. There are different things you could do in order to get into Germany to work as a to do your residency. But then for someone who just graduated from high school or you're studying in a university, but then you have the intentions of coming here to study, the first thing I would say is to learn the German language because except you have the money to do private, and I'm not even advising you to do private in Germany because at the end you have to communicate with persons who are Germans. So the best thing is learn the language to C1 or B2 if you have not done Studienkolleg. Find your way, do Studienkolleg, come over to Germany, and yeah, and do your stuff. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be time consuming. Cause mine was really time. Cause I started learning German in 2022. So ending of 2022 till August 2024. That was when I had my C2, and I later got into my school letter. So everything took me like approximately 3 years, although it was not even up to 3 years. But then it took me 3 years, and it's really time consuming, but it will worth it at the end.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And yes, she has a YouTube channel. This video will also be in her YouTube channel, and she also gives consultants.
Yeah.
Can you just tell us a bit also about what you do?
Yeah. So prep house mainly is to guide people, just like the name implies, prep to prep you for anything, prep you for life in Germany as an international student, prep you for your German exams, which is what we do mainly, and also prep you by giving you having a one-on-one consultation with you where we talk about how to apply, the mistakes that you should avoid, and how to get into student colleague or into med school. So the one of the things one of our services is one-on-one consultation. This is where we sit together. I will analyze your background, your educational background, and then we'll put you through on what you should do next, how you should do it, and the steps that you should take. Because the advice that we all give here are just general advice and also something from my own personal experience. But then for different people, they're just different paths. So we guide you into getting that which you want. And people think it's actually free. It's not. So it's not. So if you're coming, don't come with the mindset that it's a free service. No, it's actually a paid service. So if you want to have if you want to contact me at write me an email at prephouse123 at gmail.com. If you want to prepare for a German exam, A1, A2, B1, B2, you could follow our TikTok account. It's also Prep House. There we give free materials, free, kind of free lessons, live lessons on Saturdays. And also we have paid courses where we, intensively prep you for your various examinations. So these are the main things that we do. You're welcome.
Yeah. If you've not subscribed to this channel and you're watching,
Do that.
do that.
Do that.
I hope to post more frequently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See you.
Ciao.